Mother Teresa has long been depicted as a symbol of humility and unselfish service to humanity. The public was unaware that the woman had been suffering silently for decades. While still smiling moments before her death, she spoke up, only to expose horrific secrets. What you are about to watch will send chills down your spine. Sit close as we dive into Mother Teresa's agonizing ordeals and terrifying truths which have rocked the world to its core. Chapter 1. Mother Teresa, widely known as Saint Teresa of Calcutta, was a Catholic nun and missionary who spent her life assisting India's poorest of the poor. In 1950, she formed the Missionaries of Charity, a Catholic organization dedicated to helping the sick, hungry, homeless, and dying. She and her sisters established orphanages, hospices, and clinics, offering compassionate care and support to those in need in India, Africa, America, and other parts of the world. Her life was characterized by kindness, love, caring, compassion, self-denial, altruism, and a strong dedication to God. But was Mother Teresa's life consistently faultless, both spiritually and physically? Certainly, a lady of worldwide effect and influence was regarded as ideal, free of any flaws. The devil has always attempted to destroy those of good character, such as Mother Teresa, by afflicting her faith, causing people to doubt her faith and actions and question whether she was flawless, as most of her writings were published after her death. It turns out that there's more to her than we all knew or heard about. What are the awful things we just learned about her? Mother Teresa is one of the faithful saints who have faced the dark night of the soul. If you enjoy our content and want to support us, click on the Super Thanks button below. Your Super Thanks is not just a donation, it is a blessing that supports our mission to share the transformative journey of Jesus.
The Black Night of the Soul is a spiritual notion that describes a moment of intense inner turmoil, doubt, and feelings of spiritual emptiness or estrangement from God. It is frequently connected with the Spanish mystic and poet Saint John of the Cross, who described his own spiritual sorrow in his poem The Dark Night. During these dark evenings, Saint Francis might have felt abandoned, unsure, or spiritually dry. He faced these problems with faith, tenacity, and prayer, eventually emerging from them with a better understanding of God's love and a stronger devotion to his spiritual journey. Will it be the same with Mother Teresa? Mother Teresa's Dark Night of the Soul refers to a moment of spiritual devastation, in which she felt a profound spiritual emptiness and doubt in her faith. This inner fight lasted decades, and she continued her humanitarian activities, despite feeling detached from God's presence. Her fortitude in the face of this tremendous spiritual hardship has established her as an enduring icon of faith and resilience. Mother Teresa died on September 5, 1997. Since then, fresh details about her private life have begun to emerge. This knowledge astonished and even frightened many people who had lived nearby for years and thought they knew her well. For it now appears that, in stark contrast to the bright external radiance of Mother's presence among us, her inner world, the invisible, hidden areas of her mind and heart, were, for many years, and to our great surprise, caverns of apparent emptiness, zones of near-total darkness. Aside from the discoveries about the night that Mother Teresa experienced for so long, another astonishing truth that has come to light since her death in 1997 is one that she attempted for years to keep concealed. Mother Teresa, in addition to her customary modesty and immense practical love, experienced a succession of mystical visions and utterances. She received these blessings immediately, or rather immediately before starting her work in the slums for the poorest of the poor. Mother Teresa experienced tremendous emptiness and loneliness during her darkest moments. Even as she cared for the destitute and sick in Calcutta, she reported feeling as if she were living in a state of darkness, with God distant or missing from her life. Despite these difficulties, Mother Teresa persevered, worked hard, and maintained her unwavering faith in God's plan. Chapter 2. Controversies concerning Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa was among the most significant women of the 20th century. She was a global icon whose humanitarian efforts spanned Asia, America, and Africa. However, was she truly perfect? Did she truly mean well for the folks under her care? You'll soon find out. Dr. Jack Bredger was a British doctor who provided free medical care to the underprivileged. She first learned of Mother Teresa's work through a BBC report on July 21, 1977. She began working with her, inspired by her charity and sacrifice, but quickly learned that the majority of her reputation was untrue. Dr. Bredger believes that much more could have been done in the field of modern medical care. Despite receiving millions and billions of dollars in contributions, Mother Teresa did not provide medical treatment to the residences she supervised. A 115-year-old child had a relatively uncomplicated kidney problem that worsened when antibiotics were not administered. As a result, he required surgery, but she refused to accompany him to the hospital. I asked why. All you have to do is call a cab, take him to the nearest hospital, demand treatment, and arrange for a surgery. She says they don't do it. They will not do it just for one person. They must do it for everyone. And I thought, but this kid is 15 years old. Mother Teresa allowed that 15-year-old child, who could have survived a simple medical operation, to writhe in pain. Mother Teresa had sufficient funds to operate a modern hospital for these patients and the destitute. But Mother Teresa didn't do it. Mary Johnson, a former missionary of 20 years, fled Mother Teresa's cult and wrote about it in her book. These nuns' life as missionaries of mercy were difficult. They were instructed to live in poverty, and nuns were ordered to beg. At the same time, Mother Teresa had all of the money in the world. Nuns were only given 2 sets of saris, a traditional garment in India, and they were not permitted to bathe daily. Nuns were not allowed to walk out alone, watch television, read newspapers, or interact with anybody outside the ashram. They were not even permitted to meet their own family. All communications with the outside world were restricted, with the exception of a once-a-month home letter, including discussions with co-workers about anything other than work. Chapter 3, Yes to God. As the years passed, Mother Teresa gradually came to see them as distinct from the black night of the soul described by John of the Cross and experienced by Toys de Lisieux. She came to the conclusion that it was an integral element of her vocation as a charitable missionary. Teresa aspired to help the underprivileged even as a teenager in Skopje. When she became a missionary nun, she spent her Sundays in the slums around the Loreto campus, providing relief to the destitute. When she received the call inside a call, she decided to devote the remainder of her life to showing the impoverished, sick, lonely, and dying Jesus love. For at her darkest hours, she had a mystical union with Jesus. Mother Teresa's visionary experiences were initially kept secret, known only to her confessor and spiritual director. However, they became public after her death. In one of her visions, Jesus instructed Mary to serve him by looking after the poorest of the poor. This incident had a profound impression on Mother Teresa, leading her to start charitable missions and devote her life to serving the underprivileged and suffering. Despite her spiritual challenges and the controversy surrounding her work, Mother Teresa remained committed to helping people. She considered her suffering as a necessary part of her mission and worked diligently until her death in 1997. Today, she is regarded as one of the greatest humanitarians of the 20th century. motivating millions of people worldwide to live lives of compassion, love, and service to others. These chapters offer an insight into Mother Teresa's complicated and multidimensional life, emphasizing both her profound spiritual journey and the difficulties surrounding her work. While she is still renowned for her persistent dedication to helping the poor and underprivileged, her life also serves as a reminder of the difficulties and inconsistencies that come with the pursuit of charity and compassion. If you enjoy our content and want to support us, click on the Super Thanks button below. Your super thanks is not just a donation. It is a blessing that supports our mission to share the transformative journey of Jesus.